Hello and welcome to the Philippines. Super Bowl day in the USA as well as Valentine's Day. So I'm going to cover a number of different subjects. Try to get you caught up on a little bit of news. Try to clarify some travel information as best I know. Something that can change very rapidly. Being February 14th, today there are meetings with government officials and they're supposedly going to decide on the risk categories of the various provinces, regions in the Philippines today. So we'll see how that all comes out. There are a number of places that had the Super Bowl today, and I went and watched it at one place. I will admit that I've been too busy, number one, and when the football teams became very political early on in the season, a lot of people lost interest in a lot of the teams. But there was a pretty good crowd. There was a couple different places, well, several different places that you could go to watch the Super Bowl here today in Cebu City. You can also apply to certain cable packages that will carry all the football games, baseball games, basketball games, all that type of thing. So that is available if you want to pay for it. There are a lot of questions that came up with the recent changes in the Philippines about travel. And really, it brought up more questions than it did answers, basically. Now, more and more foreigners are coming into the various airports, people primarily from Korea, China, Japan, and some European nations as well, I believe is what I've read. Still, long ways from getting back to normal. There are still a number of restrictions, requirements within the Philippines, various regions and provinces, and they can change. They can change weekly, every 2 weeks, and so there is a fair amount of risk involved in traveling. Now, today they're supposed to be government officials, IATF is supposed to be meeting, coming up with new risk levels for the various areas. What I've been reading in the papers in the last week, in most areas, not all, most areas, Cebu, Metro Manila, is that cases have been dropping rather quickly. And just to let you know, I'm down here in the downtown Cebu City area, and walking down in this area, and there's quite a few people down here, but not near as many as would be on a normal day during normal times. The economy has been hurt terribly during these last 22 plus months. I will tell you, it's my opinion, my observation, that life goes on for many Filipinos. They are trying to survive. They're trying to survive. They're doing what they need to do to survive. And the governments here and around the world come out with various rules and regulations and all that, but people need to survive. They need to live, and that's what's going on in the street. Now, hundreds of the stores down here and around the Philippines, thousands, tens of thousands of stores have gone out of business. Thousands more will go out of business if they continue to have restrictions. Although some tourism has opened up for fully vaccinated in the Philippines, and going to stop in a store up here and chat with a couple of girls in a bit here. Cebu says they're going to open up to even unvaccinated people, and there's some pushback from some federal agencies here. So we'll see where that goes in the coming week or two. There are major questions about the insurance requirements. New insurance of 35,000 USD required to come into the Philippines to cover COVID, and it can be difficult to find a policy. I did a previous video where I listed some insurance companies that have COVID type insurance, and what you can find insurance, travel insurance, other insurance, but probably very few of them will list 35,000 for COVID specifically, and that's what the Philippines is saying that's what they need. So Will the airlines let you board if you don't have a policy that states that? What kind of certification do you need? I'll step in here and chat with these girls a bit. Some of these stores have a generator, some kind of backup generator, and others have electric, and I think they're set up like here. They don't want people wandering into the store apparently. So anyway, let's chat with them. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, I took it out already. I emptied it. I drank a little bit left, but all over me. So do you just sell wholesale?
Wholesale?
Wholesale only, or retail? You sell to anybody? Okay. Very good. I have a YouTube channel called Amazing Philippines. So Amazing Philippines. So all the boys, do you want to give your phone number out, your name and phone numbers? All the boys will be calling you. I was telling them that I had taken a cup of coffee, a kind of like a sealed mug. But anyway, the cap came loose and it spilled into my bag I was carrying and got all over the front of my pants. So they were kind of looking at that when I walked in. I was trying to explain to them what happened. Anyway, I think they were a little confused, and I confused them even more. But always very friendly, like 99% of all Filipinos are. If you approach them, I've said many times, you're a foreigner. They don't know what language you speak. They don't know if you're a good person, bad person, something in between. They don't. Anyway, if you approach Filipinos, my experience has been, if you approach and say, hello, good morning, good afternoon, how you doing, whatever, they are almost always very, very friendly, will return your greeting, as well as if many of them will stop and do, from whatever they're doing, they will stop and chat with you, take interest in you, and I really enjoy that. Anyway, jaywalking task force. Jaywalking. And there's another issue about immigration. What about extensions? And we haven't got any clear statements on extending tourist visas once you get here. You get your 30 days, and you need to show an ongoing ticket or return ticket within 30 days. There's no clear guidance from immigration whether you can extend that visa. Now, my thought is that surely you can. That's always been the policy, but that is not written into these updated policies. Anyway, these are like flooring. Flooring, you would, I think, 450 pesos for one of those big floor mats. 4x8. 499, I think. How much? 499 for. So 500 pesos is $10 US. About.
You want to walking the street, be careful of your snatcher.
Yeah, I know. I live here 6 years. Already snatch me.
That's walking.
Yeah, I learned. People tell me before it was more dangerous. Many years ago, more dangerous down
You
there.
want to talk any kind of no, because Mangilan.
Ah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah. That is an excellent example of Filipinos watching out for foreigners. If you're walking down here, be careful. And when I first came here, 2015, I told people, I want to go to Cologne Street. I want to go to Carbone Market downtown area. People said, oh, no, sir, it's too dangerous. And I listened to them for a couple months. But eventually, I just decided I'm going down there. And I carried my valuables, my wallet, phone, and such, in such a way that was fairly safe. And really didn't have any problem down there. Met a lot of friendly people. Over the years, there's been a couple times where I've had a couple people in a crowded area that I was uncomfortable, and I kind of stopped, let them pass, and go on. And people tell you, well, don't, you know, I've had somebody say years ago they were down in this area and somebody grabbed a necklace off their neck, I think, and anyway, that could happen anywhere in the world. So anyway, it's very seldom do I see foreigners down here, but it is a interesting cultural experience at the very least. And I always enjoy coming down here. There's Carbone Market down here, which they're just starting to clean up, modernize, remodel. Megawide Corporation is involved in that. I hope they don't lose the Filipino culture, the character, the personality of that market as they clean it up, put in new and bigger buildings, more sanitary washing system. And yes, you can ride, and we do ride on the sidewalks here, and everybody just accepts that. Well, not everybody. A lot of people do, but you will find checkpoints certain places, and they'll be pulling over motorbikes that ride in the gutter and or on the sidewalk area. I suspect in the coming week and month that we'll get a lot more information about the international travel and requirements, restrictions. Most people aren't going to travel as long as there are restrictions, period. So the tourist industry is pretty much just going to stay shut down. But anyway, coming up to some government area and some people they're notary publics trying to get my business here.
You need notary, sir?
What?
You need notary? You
what?
want notary, sir? You have a documents paper?
Talk slowly.
What?
Talk slowly.
She said, talk slowly down. She said, you need notarized signature of attorney.
Oh, no.
Ah, okay.
No, I'm just taking film.
Ah,
Are you a FUBU player?
No, sir.
Huh?
T-shirt only. I wear this one.
Oh, okay. No, I'm just taking video.
Okay, you take me, sir.
Yeah.
Are you? You take me.
Notary.
She's Killjoy, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. And I come across several other notaries in this area as well. I wanted to know if I had any documents that need to be notarized. So that's how it works here in this downtown area. One thing about the downtown area, there are a number of malls, various types of malls down here. And they're like each street might be a specialty. Might be shoe repair, might be jewelry, might be bike parts. The various streets and stores might have a lot of hardware. A lot of good deals down here. There's also a lot of knockoff products down here, cheap knockoff products. So I say be careful, but I don't know how you be careful really. If you know what you're looking for, the brand and everything, there might be ways of telling whether something is a knockoff or actually legitimate. But I bought a tool down here, and I only needed it for a couple reasons, and it's still working a few years later. Another notary here trying to get my business, and I should have asked how much they charge for that service, but I failed to. I'm sure it wouldn't be very much. Anyway, it is an interesting experience. Like any place, you need to protect your valuables. Just be aware of that, whatever country you're in. Anyway, I've reading the various comments. I really appreciate all the comments I get. The different experiences people are having coming into the Philippines, traveling. They can go one place, but they're not allowed to go someplace else because of the restrictions in another area. So you might try to be flexible if you can. Be willing to change your plans if you're planning on traveling. If you have a final destination, that's a whole nother situation. Anyway, we'll know more in the coming week and the month to come. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy life as much as you can. and I'll see you next time.